Shalom, I'm Lisa Grunberger. This hefty thing I just picked up from Staples Print Shop is my precious memoir manuscript, 300 plump pages and almost ready for you to read. Almost ready for me to tour Barnes and Noble and little independent bookstores from here in Philadelphia, where I live, to Tel Aviv, Miami, and LA. It's called Me and My Makers, a memoir of genes, adoption, and love. Although when I began this book project, my then 6-year-old daughter, Rachel, she thought it should be called Mommy's Spit Book because I explained to her how I was adopted and I spit into a little plastic vial to send out my DNA to find my birth parents. My friend Johanna has called it a kaleidoscopic memoir of two family trees from nature and nurture. She said with her British accent, "You're grafted from two Jewish Polish trees, Lisa. You have two fathers who survived the Holocaust. It's incredible, dizzying." This is the book of my heart. Even though I've written 3 award-winning poetry books and a funny little book called Yiddish Yoga about a kvetching and stretching bubby, and a well-reviewed play about infertility called Almost Pregnant, this book is the one. It's a love letter to my 2 lineages, to Rachel and Robert Grunberger, and to my birth parents, Leon and Susan. My parents, Rachel and Robert, met in Israel after my father was lucky enough to get out of Europe on a ship called the Noemi Julia. This book of my heart is from my 2 Rachels, my mother, Rachel, who is the best storyteller I've ever met, and to my daughter, Rachel, who started this entire project when she was 6. She stepped off her yellow school bus and said, "Mommy, I need grandparents. It's Grandparents' Day, and Ruth has like 6 grandparents because of divorce, and I have none. Plus, I'm hangry." I couldn't do a genealogy test fast enough. You see, my husband and I were both already orphaned by the time we met. Well, I hit the genealogical jackpot and an entire new family tree began to grow. I learned that my birth father, Leon, lived in Manhattan. I'd grown up in Long Island, and my mother, Rachel, and I had passed by his apartment hundreds of times when we went to see Broadway shows. It's all in the book. I began to write, and 5 long years later, and countless drafts, I have this manuscript. But I need your help in taking this manuscript to the finish line. I need to hire an editor. I need to do more research and travel. It's all costly. When you search for someone like your birth mother, you never find exactly what you're looking for. 3 years into the search, I received a mysterious package. It says Eva Bass sings. Now, Eva Bass is my genetic maternal grandmother, who I learned had been a Parisian nightclub singer before the war. When her daughter sent me this photo taken of Eva that appeared in Life magazine in August 1944, I nearly fell off my chair. "What do you see in this photo?" Excuse me, I asked my friend Johanna, and she said, "A tired, sick woman." I said to her, "What don't you see is that she's 2 months pregnant with my birth mother." This photo was taken in an internment camp in Oswego, New York, not in Europe. Very few people know about this Jewish internment camp that was the home to 982 Jewish refugees. I learned through the course of my research that my birth mother, Susan, was born in limbo inside this internment camp. According to the Attorney General of the United States, she didn't legally exist. She was a floating non-citizen, and once I learned this, I had to know more. I had to find Susan. The book is the story of my search. The US government deemed Eva unfit and took her daughter away. My adoption story had suddenly turned into a story of a stolen child, and this will take yet another turn, which you'll read about as my search for this stolen baby will turn me into a woman obsessed with learning my birth mother's fate. My mother, Rachel, used to say, "Lisa, we are each other's consequences," meaning we're all interconnected in far more mysterious ways than we can ever imagine. On page 7, in Me and My Makers, I share one of my mother's favorite jokes. A Jewish man goes into the synagogue and prays, "Oh Lord, you know the mess I'm in. Please let me win the lottery." The next week, he's back again, and this time he's complaining, "Lord, didn't you hear my prayer last week? I'll lose everything I hold dear unless I win the lottery." He goes back again and again, kvetching. Suddenly, a booming voice sounds from heaven. "Benny, Benny, be reasonable. Meet me halfway. Buy a lottery ticket? Well, I bought a lottery ticket. That is, I did a genealogy test, and an entire world of stories arrived and met me halfway. I wrote them all down. And with your kind help, I'll complete the final research and editing before Rosh Hashanah. And who knows? Once the memoir is published, maybe the Jewish Book Council will send me on another national book tour with a stop in your town, so I can sign a book for you, have a cup of coffee, and thank you in person for helping me bring this book into the world. And you can say, I supported this artist and I helped bring this book to life. You will be my consequence and I will be yours. And the book will go on to win the National Jewish Book Award and be adapted as a Netflix or Chai-Flick series with Julia Margolis playing me. And Barbara Streisand will come out of retirement to direct. She's on page 110 in the book. I have stories. A first-generation Jewish American girl can have her American dream, right? Thank you.